Hi, friends. This is Pastor Dave. I'm here. I have another story for you today. Today, where I am anyway, it's kind of gray and kind of cloudy and kind of rainy, and with COVID especially, it's a stay-at-home kind of day. I was thinking about that, and I saw this little book. This little book is more than 100 years old. My grandfather gave it to me. And you imagine he must be super old if he's my grandfather. When he gave this to me, he said, "David, I haven't been to very many places in the world, but when I have a book, I can travel anywhere I want." So today, let's you and me have an adventure. Because it's a stay-at-home kind of a day, but we don't have to stay at home in our imaginations, do we? In fact, let's go to a place called Pakistan. And Pakistan is a country that's close to India and Iran, and it is the home of a fantastic festival for kite flying battles. I don't know if you've ever heard of a kite flying battle. But today's story is called King for a Day, and it was written for us by someone whose name is Ruksana Khan, and the pictures were made by Christian Cromer. And I think that you'll like this. As I say, it takes place in Lahore, Pakistan, and there's a holiday there called Basant. It's a spring festival that marks the ending of winter and the beginning of warm weather. And so we will listen to this story and look at these pictures and think about what it would be like to be in Pakistan, where maybe we were flying our kites and even in kite flying battles. Here's the story. Basant is the most exciting day of the year. With feasts and music and parties, people celebrate the arrival of spring. And many will make their way to the rooftops of Lahore to test their skills in kite flying battles. Look at all those fancy kites, huh? I'm up early. My brother and sister arrive, still rubbing sleep from their eyes. My brother asks, "Malik, is that all you made?" My sister says, "How can you be king of Basant with only one kite?" "It's called Falcon, Insha'Allah," which is a way of saying, if God wills it, Insha'Allah, it will be fast enough. I send my brother many blocks downwind so he can catch the kites I will set free. There's the bully next door. Ha! It's time to make him pay for hitting me and throwing stones at my sister. I'll get back at him with Falcon. The bully shouts at us, calling my sister a bad name. My sister yells right back, but when she turns around, I can see that she's hurt on the inside. The breeze lifts the bully's huge kite. His kite is so big, I nickname it Goliath. It must have cost a fortune. Falcon is small, built for speed. I let out enough of my special string for my sister to carry Falcon to the edge of the roof. "Don't step on the tails," I cry. "Don't rip them." They're going to fly their kites at each other. On the count of 3, my sister jumps. I tug on the string. Falcon leaps into the sky. I'm ready to attack. I work my string, dipping Falcon so it circles Goliath. Because it is so big, Goliath is slow. My kite string rubs the bully's kite string. Snip! I've sliced it. Goliath flies free, and the bully's string drops from the sky like a fishing line with nothing on the hook. The bully picks up his other kite, a smaller, faster kite. He gets it climbing on the rising currents of air until it's almost as high as Falcon. I take a deep breath, bracing myself. The bully's kite circles, trying to trap Falcon. I move away, watching closely for the next attack. The bully pulls his kite left. Quickly, I pull down as hard as I can, sending Falcon into a steep dive. "Let up, Malik," my sister yells. "You're going to crash." Just before Falcon hits the rooftop, I pull it up and around several times, snagging the bully's string so he cannot get it free. I reel in the bully's line so my sister can grab his kite. The bully is done. He has no more kites, and he storms downstairs. Boy, that young man is a very good kite flyer, isn't he? I move on to other kites. It's easy for Falcon to pluck them from the sky, as if it really is a bird of prey. Look at all those colorful kites, and Falcon is right there. Wow! Big kites, little kites, fancy and plain, even kites made of old newspapers. Sometimes I catch them in groups, making wide circles around clusters of kites. Falcon slashes through their strings. For a while, the kites fly where the wind carries them, and when they land, they'll belong to whoever finds them. But at least they will have tasted freedom. Insha'Allah, I really am king of Basant today. Throughout the day, my brother brings some of the kites I have freed up to the roof, and among them is Goliath. My sister stacks them in a pile. Sometimes loose kites float close enough for me to catch. Falcon tangles their strings and I draw them in, and my sister catches some too. She uses a long bamboo pole tipped with thorns. If I am king, she is queen of Basant. At the end of the day, we have a big pile of kites. I choose the two that I want. Then my brother and sister get their picks. After they've chosen, they start downstairs, and my sister says, "Malik, you coming?" Not yet. The sun is setting on a magnificent day. I want to stay up here to watch, to feel the cool breeze. I want to make my day last a little bit longer. Suddenly, I hear yelling from below. The bully pushes a young girl to the ground. Then he grabs her kite and runs into his house. The girl gets to her feet, sobbing. She heads down the alley, trailing the kite string behind her. Something makes me pick up Goliath and drop it over the side of the roof. It floats, slicing the air side to side, to land close beside her. The crying stops. The girl picks up Goliath, and I duck back just as she looks up to see where it came from. When I look again, she's dancing along. And then she rounds the corner, and she's gone. One by one, the stars come out until they shine down like a million jeweled kites. My day is done. I'm no longer the king of Basant. It's time to go downstairs and join my brother and sister. We'll have many stories to tell of Falcon's triumphs. And tomorrow I will start designing a new kite, an even better kite, for the next Basant when, Insha'Allah, I will be king again. So that's the story of King for a Day. There's a lot that I like about that story, but I think my favorite part was when the young boy, in secret, gave a gift to someone who didn't have anything and who felt sad. And he did it quietly, so nobody knew who it was, and she could just be happy. I've never been to a kite flying battle. I like to fly kites, Maybe someday I will. I've never been to Pakistan. Maybe someday I'll get to go to Pakistan. But today I'm glad I got to go to a kite flying battle with you. And I hope you enjoyed this story. I'll see you on Monday with a new one. Goodbye.